What's up, agents? Zero here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build the individual modules from my upcoming Impossible Maze map. Now, these modules are incredibly easy to build, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly explain exactly what a module is. So basically, it's a unit of something larger that looks and functions the exact same as all other units like it. That's not the dictionary definition of module, but that's close enough. So that's basically what a module is. So if you're going to build your own Impossible Maze and you follow this tutorial, basically you're going to be repeating this exact same process over and over again until your map is actually complete. And that's why I thought this project would be relatively simple to put together. In fact, it is simple to put together, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to show you guys how to build, because I know there's going to be some of you who might be interested in putting one of these together yourself. Now, in order to build this, you're actually going to need a 10 by 10 area. Now, these granite blocks you see in the center of each of these sides, this is exactly where your piston doors are actually going to end up going. Something I want to go ahead and note, so you have this 10 by 10 area right here, which is an individual module. Say you have another module over here, so you have another 10 by 10 area. I want you guys to be aware that this row of 10 blocks right here from corner to corner, this exact row of blocks is actually shared by both of these modules. And the same goes if you're going on any other side of the module. So basically, they're actually combined with each other to function exactly the same as each other. And that's actually important because of the way the redstone works. If they didn't interconnect this way, then the redstone would be a lot more complicated to put together, and it wouldn't function exactly the same. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, the resources that we have for this build are these 9 blocks, of which are in my inventory. Now, you can swap most of these out for whatever blocks you really want to. However, it's important that these blocks right here are exactly the ones that you use regardless. You're going to be required to have redstone dust, redstone torch, and a sticky piston. The pressure plate, on the other hand, the only other pressure plate you can technically use is the stone pressure plate. Do not use the gold or iron pressure plates because they do not function the same as wood and stone. In fact, if you stand on an iron or gold pressure plate, they will only give out a redstone output of 1, which is not good for what we want. We actually want a larger redstone output from the pressure plate. Now, these remainder 5 blocks, these can basically be whatever you really want them to be. So you can swap them out for whatever you want. I highly recommend you have some sort of block that gives off light, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit dark inside of your room. So let me go ahead and pull this out and put it into my hotbar. And as you can tell, it only fits in my hotbar. I have nothing else in my inventory. And before I go ahead and go any further, I want to go ahead and point something out. This cursor that you see moving around my screen, 1.2.1 added this feature specifically for game controllers. It was technically ported over from the console edition because console edition uses, and I actually like this feature a lot. I'm still technically getting used to it, and I want you guys to get used to seeing this cursor from now on, because I'm actually going to be using it from here on out. So I just figured I'd go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, you're noticing that I don't actually have any set amounts of items in my hotbar. It's only 1 item. I highly recommend you do this build specifically in creative mode. If you do this in survival mode, yes, it is technically possible, but it is going to get very resource expensive. Glowstone can be technically resource expensive because you first off have to go to the nether and get the glowstone and survive a bunch of gas in order to do it. Redstone dust, you technically have to go down to the bottom. Pistons are extremely expensive in terms of resources because they use like 4 or 5 different resources, if I'm counting this correctly. 4 different resources. Yeah, they're using 4 different resources, so they're technically a little bit expensive to make. Plus the slime ball, so it is 5. to make sticky pistons. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this build. The first thing you want to do is you want to find where your center is. So go ahead and follow your 2 sets of granite and go ahead and go to the direct center. Build up 3 blocks just like this and make a 2 by 2 area. Go ahead and get out your stairs and you want to place them around in such a way that the tops of the stairs are facing towards your glowstone. Now, just as another reminder, you can use basically whatever blocks you want. If you're not using glowstone, you're still surrounding these center blocks with whatever block this is. Now go ahead and get out your first set of building blocks. I'm using oak planks. Go ahead and surround it on one side like this, and then build out 2 in the center just like this. And repeat the process on all 4 sides. Do not put a block in this corner right here. We're going to be getting to that corner a little bit later. So you just go ahead and go around just like this until you make a little bit of a diamond shape. As you can tell, it looks a little bit like a diamond. Now what you actually want to do is you want to come out 1 extra block on these and pull out 1 block on the side so it basically has wings. Now let me go ahead and explain what these 2 blocks are here for, because I didn't actually explain what these blocks are needed for when I did my preview video on the actual map itself. So when the pistons extend and retract, the blocks that are attached to them will become invisible for a split second. If we don't have these blocks here, you can see directly underneath, and we're actually going to have these blocks up above on the ceiling as well. Because if you don't have these blocks there, you're going to see down underneath, see the redstone, and we do not want that. That's why those blocks are actually there. And the 2 center blocks that are being placed down there, well, that's the walkway inside of your piston doors. You actually need something to walk on. It's fairly obvious. So once you're all done, you should have a shape that looks like this. Now go ahead and get out your pillar blocks. I'm using dark oak logs, and you will go ahead and place them down just like this. And you're going to build them up 1 high for now. You're actually going to build them up a little bit higher than this a little bit later, but I highly recommend you do this first because there's actually a little bit of a technique that makes it a little bit easier to build them the rest of the way up. So once you have them all built 1 block up, go ahead and build them up 3 blocks higher. And here's a little trick. Go ahead and stand above one of these pillars, crouch until you're standing directly on top of it, and then go ahead and start building the next pillar over. You will actually stay in the proper spot you need to be in order to place the rest of the pillars, which is actually really useful, especially when you're in creative mode, when you're flying. So that is a good technique to use. And if you're using this for other builds, it does come in handy. So there we go. We've got our pillar blocks built up all the way. Go ahead and get your oak planks back out, and you're going to basically reconstruct your diamond shape with your oak planks. And you're just going to leave a 4x4 hole in the center for right now. I do not want that block there. So just like this. So when you're done, it should look something like this. As you can see straight down to the bottom. Now go ahead and come out on this side. Go ahead and build these 4 blocks out just like this on all 4 sides. So these are the ceilings to your piston doors, basically, because we don't really want to see up above the rest of the map. Not that there's going to be necessarily anything up there, but you guys at least understand what I'm trying to say. Get out your glowstone once again, go to the direct center, go ahead and build out 3 blocks. Go ahead and break this first block right here, and go ahead and make this a 2x2 square. Come down, go ahead and get your stairs out once again. You're going to place them upside down in the exact same formation that we placed them on the floor. So the tops of the stairs, well, I guess in this case the bottoms of the stairs, are going to be facing your glowstone blocks. go ahead and get out your pressure plates, and in between your pillar blocks, in between your logs, place down 2 pressure plates just like this. This is going to be your activation device for your piston doors. Go ahead and get your building blocks out once again. Place them down just like this underneath the 2 center blocks on the outside, so 1 block away from your pressure plates. And just build them out like this. Now here's what you want to do. You go out to either side of these. Actually, you're going to be doing this from both sides. You go out 1, 2, 3, put a block there, so you've got a 2 block gap running just like this. Go ahead and build up 2 blocks, break the center block, 2 blocks once again, break the center block once again, and just repeat this process just like this. So skip 2 blocks, put a block down, go ahead and build up 2 blocks, break the center block, 2 blocks up again, break the center block, and you repeat this process just like this. Now you're going to notice that this creates a 1 block gap in the corner right here. This is actually really important because this means that the redstone is actually not going to interfere with each other for each individual piston door. And once you actually have a whole bunch of rooms set up, in fact, if you have 4 rooms connected in a 2x2 square, this is actually going to end up creating a bit of a plus sign in the center. So you know the redstone is not actually going to end up interconnecting with each other. So that is really good to know. So I'm just going finishing up the last set of blocks like this. And there actually is a reason. The way the redstone is wired is why we have the blocks set up the way they are. Go ahead and get out your sticky pistons, and you're going to place a piston facing in this direction off of this block right here, and the same on this side. And you repeat this process around the other sides, but I'm not going to do the other sides just yet. Now what you want to do is you want to take your pistons, you need to aim above these pistons and place another set of pistons so that they both face in the same direction. Then you do the exact same thing on the underside. Now the underside can actually be the trickier bit to do. And the reason because is if you don't aim correctly when you place these pistons on the underside, I know I'm making it look easy, but that's because I've built this so many times. You're going to notice that if you don't aim correctly, then something that's going to end up happening, let me go ahead and show you guys what I mean. If I can, because I've done this so many times, it's technically hard for me to mess this up. Basically, if you go in the wrong spot, if you place this down, your piston is actually going to face downwards. And I actually intentionally went down too far hard to do that, because otherwise we'll have a hard time messing up at this point, because I've built this so many times. So there's your pistons all done. Go ahead and get out your door blocks. Now these don't have to be spruce planks like I'm using. As I mentioned before, you can basically make them whatever you want, but basically go ahead and place them on the fronts of your sets of pistons, just like this. So on all 4 sides, just like this. So let's go ahead and finish this up just like this. Now let's go ahead and get out our redstone dust, and what you're going to do is you're going to place redstone dust on these 2 blocks right here. Go ahead, skip a block, place redstone dust so there's a 1 block gap between your building block and the other piece of redstone dust. Do the same on the other side. Go ahead and come up next to this top piston, place a piece of redstone dust on this top block. Now we're leaving these blocks down in the center for a reason, and we'll get to that in a moment. So let me go ahead and finish up all this redstone. So this is exactly pretty much the majority of the redstone wiring for this entire map. So it's actually not too complicated to put together, and I do not want to place that there. So there we go, just like this. Now go ahead and get out your redstone torches, and you can basically place these redstone torches in these spots in pretty much whatever order you want. So you're going to place a block right here redstone torch is going to go right there. That's going to end up powering all 3 pistons at once. You're going to place a torch right down here. This is going to unpower this torch, which means these pistons are going to be unpowered. Then you place a redstone torch off the side of that block, and that's going to power them once again. I literally just realized I did not place redstone dust along these all these bombs, and there we go, I fixed that problem. So basically you're going to repeat that exact same process for every single set of pistons. So place one down here, that's going to power them. Place one down here, that's going to unpower them. Place one right here, that's going to power them once again. Just repeat this process until you have all of them. You can repeat this process in pretty much whatever order you want. It doesn't have to be backwards like I did initially. It's still going to function the exact same way regardless. Now, the reason why I decided to stick with redstone torches when I was building is because I was trying to limit myself on the amount of resources I was using, and well, I was already out of inventory space, so I couldn't use repeaters to set this up. It's why the redstone is as simple as it is. Basically, as if repeaters didn't exist in the first place. Now that's the majority of your redstone wiring done. Now we need to wire up the pressure plates, and the pressure plates are actually relatively simple to wire up. So, before we go ahead and get started, you need to determine what doors you want to be indoors, what doors you want to be outdoors, and whether or not you want certain doors to be allowed to go in and out from either side. I know that probably doesn't make any sense. So if you want a door to be able to be going in, basically means you're entering the room. Let's say you're entering this room from this door right here. Basically what you do is you place 2 blocks right here. This is technically leaching in to the next module over. I know it's over the 10 by 10 area, but this is technically leaching in to the next module over. So don't worry about that. Place 2 blocks right here, and then place your pressure plates down just like this, and this will activate the doors just like that. Now if you want it to make an exit door, basically a door that you want to leave the room from, so say you want this door to be a door you want to leave the room from, all you have to do is go ahead and place blocks back behind here just like that, and place redstone dust on top of them just like that. So now let's go ahead and test this out really quick. So if I go ahead and stand on these pressure plates right here, you can go ahead and enter the room just like this, and then we can exit the room just like that. It's that simple. Now say for example you want to have a door, say this door right here, where you can enter and exit from the exact same door. So you can go in from this door, but you can also exit from the door. That's actually relatively simple. You basically set this up right here and along the back as well. Just go ahead and place redstone dust along all 4 blocks just like that. And then obviously you're going to need your pressure plates along the outside on the next module over, otherwise you can't get in. So you can get in from that side, also you can get out from that side. Now say for example you want to set up an area where it's actually the very edge of the map. Like for example, since this does not have any pressure plates whatsoever, say you want this to be the edge of your map. Well, that's actually very easy to do. All you have to do is get rid of these 2 blocks here, these 2 blocks here, and basically break every single piece of the redstone wiring to begin with. And something I forgot that pistons did is when they're extended, they will actually drop themselves when you break them. And you can just basically get rid of all the redstone components from this particular side if you want this to be an edge, because you don't really need redstone on parts where you're not going to be using redstone to begin with. That's why it's the way it is. So that's exactly how you make an edge to your map. So that's basically all there is to building this individual module. Let's go ahead and test this out one last time. So this door we can only enter through, this door we can only exit through, and this door it doesn't matter whether we can enter or exit through to begin with. So we can go ahead and go in through this door just like that, but we can't exit out of there. So we can go ahead and exit through this door, but because we don't have redstone dust, actually let me go ahead and show you guys. So if I go ahead and place down blocks like this, and I put down pressure plates just like this, we can't go in. Now if we go ahead and go to this side, we can go ahead and go in through this way, and we can go out through the exact same door as well. And this one, these pressure plates are just basically dummies because this is in fact the edge of our map. Now this is actually relatively easy to put together, as I mentioned. Now you guys know exactly how easy it is to put one of these together. Now I'm going to go ahead and mention right now that I want to go ahead and tell you guys, I know that made no sense at all, I said that basically twice in two different ways, that as of recording this video, my Impossible Maze map is actually almost ready for beta testing. So by the time this video is actually going to be released, it will in fact be ready for beta testing. So I'm recording this, it's not quite ready, but it almost is. By the time the video is out, it will be ready for beta testing. So I want you guys to comment down below if you are in fact interested in beta testing this map once this video releases. I'm going to be replying to whoever's interested. I'm only going to need 4 beta testers total, and I have 1 lined up already. And I need to know your Twitter name, your @name. So I'm going to be letting you guys know if you guys are going to be invited into the beta testing itself. And yeah, I'm going to be needing your Twitter like I said. Or in fact, if you want to, you can just simply let me know via Twitter if you are interested. You guys should know my Twitter at this point, @AgentCPU0. But other than that, that's actually going to have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. One more, then make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter @AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zeus. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be looking forward to hearing from you guys, not only for actually being able to beta test, but your feedback once beta testing is actually going on and once the final map is actually released to download to the general public. So I'm actually going to be looking forward to both of those. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys later.